We
Yeah.
are live. Happy Monday, first Monday of the year, you guys. And I have here no more than my beautiful friend. Let me bring her in. Let me pin her. Ta-da, Mrs. Kelly Roach. I can't believe this. I can't believe
Hello.
that.
Hello.
Do you guys
So
know
happy to be
this?
here.
It's happening. The myth, the legend. Kelly Roach is here. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. Like this is before we even start questions and we're just gonna have a chat, a talk. I feel so honored and so blessed to be able. Kelly, for those of you who don't know, Kelly is not just my friend, but she's also my client. She's also my business coach. She's also my mentor. And this wouldn't be happening without her. You know, this is between, she's been such a huge force in making me step up my game with my business, not for the sake of anything, but for the sake of reaching more people and making
Yeah.
sure that we have our purpose driven life, and she introduced me to so many amazing things. I did her program last year and I'm still on her programs talking about spiritual selling and miracle hour and all those things that, between me and you and faith-based businesses and just speaking out of purpose. I'm just so happy to have you here and so happy to be able to be part of your life in the fitness. So without further ado, Mrs. Kelly Roach.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you. So I wanted to bring you here. First of all, we're launching Stronger Than 40 today, and it's something that I built based out of my heart and the quest that I have to help women because I see so many women out there who are looking desperate, who are looking like they lose the sparkle in their eyes, and they are like so desperate for love and desperate for self-love and for like
Mhm.
finding that connection with them. And I figured, like I need to do something about it because I honestly believe, yeah, transformation comes from within, but I believe the physical transformation is a huge trigger to that reconnection with you, to that power that you have from inside that you see like I can do anything. I'm what is it? Where is she? I'm Wonder Woman. I can really do anything. So
Yes.
please, Kelly, share a little bit like what made you take that step further into seeking for something like I really need to step up my gaming fitness because you're already like in the business. Everybody who doesn't know you, I don't know, they're probably living in another galaxy, but you're already your business is like booming for decades already. So tell us what made you move to like, okay, I need to step up my fitness game.
Yeah, I mean, there's three big areas, right? So there's your personal life, there's your spiritual life, there's, well, say your family life, and then there's your business life, right? And for me, when I looked at all of the realms of my life, wanting to take my portfolio of companies from 8 to 9 figures, wanting to be a great mom to my daughter Madison that I homeschool, wanting to be a great wife, trying to be a person of God and grow in my faith, trying to show up for my team, all of those things. Every one of the big goals and big dreams, all those God sized dreams that we all have, they hinge on having the energy to
Yeah.
pursue them. And they hinge on having the confidence to show up for your own potential. And, Amanda, for me in my 40s, I definitely saw myself losing a little bit of that spark myself. I knew I had it in me. I was still the same person that was an NFL cheerleader and a competitive dancer and did all these things. But the
Mhm.
truth is that our lifestyle and our habits dramatically change after multiple decades of being in the workforce or even being a stay-at-home parent or whether you're corporate, you're stay at home, or you have your own business, your habits dramatically change. And those compounded changes over time can definitely make you start to believe that you
Mhm.
can't be fitter and hotter and in better shape in your 40s than you are in your 20s or in your 30s because it just feels so far out. It
Mm-hmm.
feels so unrealistic. Like I know for me, it just felt so far away from where I was when I was like at my peak. When I was training and exercising and working out every single day. And so you ask the question, why did I want to make a change with my fitness and health? Why did I come to you?
Mm-hmm.
I came to you because I recognize that every single area of my life that matters to me, my spiritual life, my family life, my business life, my career, all of those things hinge on both energy and confidence. You have to have the physical capability to show up for those goals. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to have the confidence to go for it.
Uh-huh.
And we all know that the thing that's going to give us both of those things, the energy to pursue our big God sized dreams and the confidence, is looking and feeling our best
True.
and having the energy, the natural energy, right? Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
looking for the shortcut. Everybody's looking for the thing out there, which we know never works,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the thing that you give, the gift that you give, is you help women that are in their 40s and beyond to get in the best, strongest shape of their lives so that they can maximize their potential, reach their goals in business, be a full all in parent, wife, spouse, whatever it is. And also, I'll just say for me, and I know I shared this with you before, Amanda, it has saved me so much time and energy. I am a huge efficiency
Mm-hmm.
person. I don't have a lot
Uh-huh.
of like extra time. And what I found was before I started working with you, every time I had to get dressed for a client event or to go to a networking thing or to meet with people about business, it was like a whole production because it was so hard to find something that I felt confident in.
Yeah.
And selfishly, part of my work with you is it has saved me so much time because I can wear anything now. I can just go in my closet, I can wear anything, and I just know
Uh-huh.
everything's going to look good, everything's going to fit. Because when you're in between sizes, because you're out of shape and you're not really the form that your body's meant to be in,
Mm-hmm.
it's not surprising that things like don't fit the right way and you keep trying things on and nothing looks
And
right
it really
because
wrecks
you're
your
not.
mood.
It's horrible because it
Yeah.
makes you lose confidence and feel frustrated
Mm-hmm.
going into things that should be positive and exciting. And instead, you're already going in feeling frustrated and having a lack of confidence in situations where you should be fully confident,
True.
right?
And it's really important to talk about that real quick because, being Christians and really being faith-based, I've dabbled with that so many times about like, why is it that my confidence and my happiness is so attached to how I look?
Mm-hmm.
And the conclusion that I get is not because I need to look a certain way in order to be happy, but it's because I know my potential. And if I'm living under my
Yeah.
potential, I'm not happy with myself
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm leaving under the table. So it's not about I'm only happy if I have a six pack. No, I'm only happy if I'm keeping the promises that I
Yeah.
told myself I would do, and I know what fills my cup. And everybody has a certain look. And when you share with me that thing that saved so much time for you to get dressed, potential, yes, Wendy, it's like it was so incredible because it's so mind blowing because I've fluctuated my weight so many pounds for so many years. You guys have shared who follow me, my struggle with weight and binge eating disorder and the competition and all that, yada yada. But once you get used to a certain weight or a certain look, you really forget how many of us women struggle with that. Even if it's like you're talking about 5, 10 pounds, it's really struggling. And you're sharing today on your story, like you lost 15 pounds in a little over a year of weight. Between
Mm-hmm.
that, we lost, I think it was about 22 that we checked, between 22 and 25, I think, of body fat, added muscle. So if between, let's say 25 to 15, maybe added 7 to 10 pounds of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how that feels on your body and how that looks like on your body, apart from
Oh,
just dressing. Like, does she have also? She just shared on her Instagram. You guys should go there. She shared all the links for her fabulous dresses and looks that she used all last year. Because every time she goes to an event, I'm like, dang it, that's beautiful. You look amazing. Because it's really the accessory is the body. The clothes are just
yeah.
like a compliment.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm a huge efficiency person. I'm a business growth strategist by nature. So I'm always looking for where I can be more efficient in my life. I don't want to waste time trying on 5 outfits or trying to find something that fits. I can just order things now and I just know I'm going to fit and I'm going to fit in whatever order, I place. And that's an amazing thing to get to take back that time and to feel great going into things. But also, as you know, Amanda, we share in our faith life and we're on, some other conversations and chats regarding faith on a daily basis. And, one of the things for me that I realized was that as a Christian person and as a person that was trying to grow in my faith, that I was not honoring my body as the temple that it was. And so I took a very different approach to how I think about fitness and how I think about
Mhm.
taking care of my body as I've really pursued my faith life more, because I realized like God gave us these bodies so that we can go out and glorify Him by being everything we can possibly be.
Amen.
And if we're holding ourselves back because either we have a lack of confidence or we don't have the energy, a big thing for me, Amanda, was I would get to the end of the day and I would be so exhausted by the end of the
Mhm.
day every day, and I would be like, I had no energy when I got done work to like be present for my family, to
Yeah.
be like excited when I should have been going, excited to go spend time with my family and go do other things. I just had no energy. And now, like, just my 30 minutes of doing your program in the morning, and like my energy is like off the chains all the time. Like,
Mm.
you see, like
Yeah.
when we come to our workouts, you're like, you don't seem stressed. You seem like, yeah. I'm like, because like I think our bodies need this. I
Yeah.
think
They
our
really do.
bodies really, really need this. And I think when we nurture our bodies by moving, and that was one big thing that I got from you, Amanda, is like you just kept saying to me over and over and over again, you're like, Kelly, just move every day, just move every day. And
Mhm.
you were always really encouraging about, you would always say like, do it imperfect, like do whatever you can, fit it in when you can, like it doesn't need to be this whole big thing. And that was a game changer for me because I don't have a lot of time, and that's not an excuse. I really don't have a lot of time because I'm homeschooling and I'm running, 6 companies, and I have other things outside of, work and life and all the things. And that one thing of you giving us permission to say, listen, you going through like a body transformation doesn't mean it needs to become your whole life. That's
Mhm.
a very different approach than a lot of the way that people teach fitness, where it's like it's all encompassing to go through a body transformation. And that's not realistic for most
Yeah.
people. And that's why it fails over and over again. And I think the biggest thing about the way that you do your work, Amanda, is one, you're so sophisticated in the way that you put your programming together that like it does its work faster and shorter and easier, which for me, I go back
Mhm.
to efficiency, 30
Yeah.
minutes or less, 3, 4 times a week. And I'm like in, out, done. But I think the other thing is that you are very realistic because you're a business owner yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge part of what made this work for me, was working with a woman that is also a business owner that
Mhm.
really encouraged me to just take imperfect action the same way I encourage my clients, take imperfect
Yeah.
action.
I
You
stole that
really
from you, by the
encouraged,
way.
yeah. But you gave me so much encouragement of just take
Yeah.
imperfect action, just do something every day. It doesn't matter what. And that
Mhm.
was a total game changer for me because I am the person that I want to do everything with excellence. And so I would be the person that if I couldn't do 30 minutes or if I couldn't do an hour, I didn't do anything.
Uh-huh.
And so, how many days went on where you just don't do anything because you feel like the time that you have won't do anything? And
It's not enough.
I feel like I like hung in that pendulum for a
Mhm.
really long time where it was like, I can't do enough. It's not going to matter. It's not going to make a difference. And I think that was
Mhm.
like a huge breakthrough in the way that you run your programming for me.
Yeah, we talked a lot about when we first started, and that was a really, I remember it was a game changer because, and also to tackle, a lot of women come from the same background as you, not as high profile from where you're like, she was NFL cheerleader. Like, that's not something simple. That's like peak level. But a lot of women, they came from like, oh, at college, I were used to work out 2 hours a day, or I used to be so active
Yeah.
and not so much effort with nutrition. And they had somewhat of a lean physique, you know. And what happens is not only as time passes and reach our 30s or 40s, we're working more, we have less time to ourselves. most of us become moms. We're moving less. So not only your metabolism decreases, but also your energy expenditure decreases. So it's like a double
Yeah.
effect forcing us and just tells your body just like store body fat, burn the muscle out. So we have that mentality that like if I can move like I used to do in my 20s, I'm never gonna look at my 20s. So
Yeah.
that's the shift that we did. Is like we don't need that much. We need just a little bit every day. And that imperfect action that you said that you speak so eloquently for business is the same thing with fitness. Is a little bit every day, and how that little changes and little habits they compound not only in training but also in nutrition. Because for
Yes.
you, what we did also in the course of a year, we started little by little. I think a lot of women they get overwhelmed because they think like,
Yeah.
I see some of you girls here in the chat that went through that. We had that conversation. We start like, oh my gosh, I don't have 2 hours every day to like, you don't need, and you don't need to start a perfect diet, and you don't need to start a perfect training program. You need to start a training program, a
Yeah.
plan. And once you get to